Okay, good evening, everybody. Oh, the front row is definitely awake. The back row, I don't think so. Good evening, everyone. That's better. Welcome to DuePoint. My name's Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here. I'm going to be spending, tonight's a special format, so I'm going to be spending a little longer with you this evening than I typically do. Typically, our presentation is about 50 minutes. But this evening, as you can see, is Tell All Tuesday. So for those of you who don't know, the special format is that we get to invite some of the wealth engineers who have been with DuePoint for some time and have shown some success in the business, or a lot of success. And we like to invite them up onto stage to share their experience with our guests and hopefully shed some pearls of wisdom before us. I'd like to welcome everyone who's tuned into the live stream this evening. Welcome around the country. So I think this evening we've got 3 wealth engineers coming up onto stage. I think, is everyone over the age of 60? No. Oh, Rena's close. Hey, Rena, are you close? So I was almost going to say that tonight's pensioners Tell All Tuesday, but we're still safe. We're still safe. There are young people in our business, don't worry. Okay, so let's begin. As you can see, DuePoint is a division of a business called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company in South Africa, one of the very few. There are only about a dozen insurance companies in the country. Constantia is one of them. We don't share offices with them. They're down the road from us here in Randburg. They were founded in 1952, so we've been around for nearly 70 years. That's a very long time, a lot longer than I've been on planet Earth. But that's their building, the branding that they use, that little orange logo that you see over there. The FSP number that we operate under, that's very important because that's our license to operate within financial services. And if you go back outside into the foyer, you'll notice above the water cooler, we've got all these certificates up on the wall. Those are our Financial Services Board licenses. So we've got a long and short-term insurance license, we've got an investment license, we've got our Financial Services Provider license, and we've also put up our accreditation with the Direct Marketing and the Direct Selling Association. So go take a look at those. We take credibility very seriously here at DuePoint, and we trust as guests that you need to trust the business that we're going to be speaking about this evening. So obviously it's a fundamental step in that you find this business credible. We listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange under a group called Conduit Capital, so you're welcome to go do a background check on us. The managers and executives are these individuals up on screen, starting from shortest and ugliest to best looking and tallest. I really need to get a new joke. I've been telling that joke for about a year. So we start with my boss. So Brendan Benfield's our senior executive here at DuePoint. He's very experienced in financial services, particularly in insurance, because he comes from a family of insurance pedigree. His father is a professor of insurance who taught at Wits for 25 years. His father founded Clientele Life. His father founded the IFA. His father, with Brendan and his brother Stuart, founded Prime Meridian Direct, or PMD. So you can see they've had huge success in the financial services space. We're very lucky to have Brendan heading up this business. Tim Reynolds and Stacey Paul. So Tim and Stacey are both there, operating the technology for us. You can see we're an efficient business here. No one goes to waste. But Tim and Stacey head up our auditing, the financial and the accounting aspects of our business. They wanted to become accountants, so they got the boring work to do, unfortunately. But very important to the business. Tim is very experienced in corporate banking. He was with the First Rand Group for about 15 years in a fairly senior position there where he reported directly to the CEO. Stacey has worked in auditing all her career. She's worked here as well as overseas for Deloitte. So those 3 individuals are all registered chartered accountants. Very boring. These people aren't accountants and are very interesting. If you want to talk to anyone, come talk to us, right? Don't go to the accountants. You'll be disappointed. So Jane is actually from the UK. If you've spoken to Jane, you'll notice she's got an accent. It's a Yorkshire accent, to be specific. She's been in South Africa for about 10 years, but she brings a lot of important experience to our team, and that is with regards to referral or network marketing. Because even though we're an insurance business, our growth is very much dependent on our ability to work in the network marketing space, and Jane brings that experience to our team. Myself, I've been working in advertising for over 20 years. I ran my own agency for about 15 of those years, a digital agency, so we work very much in the technology realm. And I'll touch on a little bit about my business later in the presentation. Suffice to say, there was a fairly successful business. We didn't retrench anybody. We paid everyone salaries for 15 years, yet I walked away from the business. And it speaks to why I think we're here this evening. So I'll touch on that. So that's the individuals, or these are the individuals here at DuePoint. To our negative slide. So you'll see that it's definitely a negative slide because it starts with a very negative word. Can you see the 4-letter word? Who loves that word? Why do you have so much of that word if you don't like it? Right? So we discussed some of the driving factors. Now, this is very important. I know some people don't like to address the negative aspects too much, but these are really circumstances that we each individually have to deal with. We look at the economy. We've got very high interest rates, high inflation, very high food inflation, and we look at the fact that our salaries are not keeping up with inflation. So you'll feel that every month, right? Because that's happening to every South African almost, probably 95% of us, in the fact that your salary is not being increased on an annual basis in line with what inflation is. So you can ask yourself the question, have I received an increase of around 5 to 7% every year for the last 7 years? Anyone? Generally, no one puts their hand up to that question. And what happens is we make the mistake of trying to use debt to try to solve the issue. It nearly drives me crazy because I hear these adverts on radio offering people debt constantly, or offering them credit, should I say. And I'm just like, we're not in the position to ever get out of that debt, right? Because our salaries are getting smaller and smaller in comparison to the cost of living every month. So we get to engage in a whole plethora of different debt instruments. We are often criticized as an economy, as a country, as a culture that engages too much in debt and not enough in investments and savings products. And this problem, this debt cycle, actually exacerbates itself, proliferates itself over time. And it really comes to a head when we get to retirement, because at retirement, you're going to have to ask yourself those tough questions. What have I done in the last 40 years of employment to secure myself a dignified retirement? Right? Because you're going to look into your savings, into your pension fund, your retirement fund, and you're going to say, this is what I've done over the last 40 years. And unfortunately, only about 3% of our population get to retirement financially independent. The rest of us, 97% of us, are deemed financially dependent. It means we're retired, we're forced to go look for a job again. We have to downgrade our lifestyles to such a degree that we can survive. We become dependent on family, on children, just to get by during retirement. And what this presentation is about is the opportunity to change the circumstance for ourselves, to change this negativity. Right? So I'm happy to report there's only one negative slide in our presentation. We're done with it. Out of all of that negativity, as a business, we saw the opportunity to create a platform that allows the average South African to engage with. We call it the DuePoint system. It was launched 23 months ago, so we are nearly 2 years old. And we have 3 aspirations in mind for the people that join us in the business. So you are probably here thinking, well, I'm just here to earn more money. Right? That's what I'm interested in. But money is always a means to an end. Right? Unless you're one of those people that like to lie on their money on the bed. Then maybe that's fun. But money is always a means to an end. The end for us, the aspirations for us, are one, to see people in this business become debt-free. Completely debt-free. It is something I've never aspired to be honest, ever in my 20 years of working. I always thought debt is something that's always there. I always owe money on my credit card. Even my overdraft, and there's no prospect of paying my bond off anytime soon, right? Because it's a 20-year bond. Through this business, we want you to empower yourself to actually aspiring to paying your debt off a lot faster than you think. And it empowers you to our second aspiration. Our second aspiration is really the means to end in this business, and that's creating wealth. Can you create wealth if you owe other people money? Most certainly not, right? So we get rid of our debt first, and then we focus on creating wealth. We create wealth through ownership of assets and investments that appreciate, right? But you've got to get rid of the debt first. And the third aspiration happens on its own, and that's just not to be grumpy at the end of the month or during December and January, to be happy, to change our circumstance for ourselves and our families. So those are our 3 aspirations in business. You can align yourselves with those aspirations. You don't have to. It's completely up to you. But basically, our guests here this evening have the opportunity to join this business. You contract with us. We call you wealth engineers once you've contracted with DuePoint. And as wealth engineers, you've got one single task in this business, and that's to go out and build what we call channels of distribution. And through these channels of distribution, which is really you just bringing people to DuePoint, introducing people to DuePoint, our online platform will facilitate the sale of products to those people. And that's basically how this business works. The benefit for you is that you get to create additional income. Now, this is obvious, right? This is why you're here this evening, not for the free tea and coffee. Were there chocolates on offer this evening? I saw some people walking around with chocolates. I don't know. Okay, so not for the chocolates, I hope. I hope things aren't that bad. If you were in Cape Town, you'd be here for the water, right? Okay. So we are here for the additional income. But the nature of our income is recurring income. Now, this is very important because some people deem this, or they call it passive income. I always refer fondly to my dad's description of it. He said, it is the ability to make money while you're sleeping. Did you know you could do that? I'm not talking about any nefarious business after hours, right? Legit business, right? The ability to make money while you're sleeping. What he's really talking about is ridding yourself of time constraints. So now, this is where I touch on my business, because I ran this business, an agency, for 15 years, and at about, I think the 8 or 9 year mark, I realized that I wasn't placing myself in a position, or the business wasn't able to place itself in a position to create recurring income or passive income. We only made money if we were doing work. None of the work we did translated into asset value later on. So we had to work for every cent in our business, right? And if people went on holiday in December, which they were entitled to, we didn't generate any income in the business. Always throughout the year, we would have to build up a fund to survive December and January. And after 8, 9 years, I thought this is not the way to do business, because I realized I'd be doing work. I'd be having to sit in front of that computer doing work for the rest of my life, past retirement, if I wanted to earn income. And for the next 6 years, we tried to figure out a way of creating recurring income. We weren't successful at doing that. And so I walked away from the business, because I want to be involved in a business that I can build up and then rely on that asset value creating recurring income. And this is exactly what you get to do in this business. Recurring income is something that's actually inherent to insurance companies. So there's few businesses that actually create recurring income. The rest of us, we sell time, right? We services, plumbers, electricians, hairdressers, programmers, designers. You get paid according to your contracted work, those 8 hours every day, 40 hours a week for the rest of your life, 40, 45 years. So this is a benefit that helps you rid yourself of time constraint. The next benefit does the same thing. It's leverage. It's the power of duplication that we get to harness in this business. So you become a wealth engineer. You have the opportunity to go out and collaborate with other people. You are invited to invite other people into the business that'll work with you. This is where the leverage comes in, because if you were working on your own and your success was purely based on your own efforts, then you would only have one person's time being invested into the business. But I'm saying to you, the system has been designed that you can enjoy the benefit of people collaborating with you. So you can go out and find 20 people to come help you in your business, and you will benefit from those 20 people. If each person's putting in 1 hour a day, that's your leverage. That's 20 times your time being invested into the business. Now you've got 21 hours being invested into building this channel of distribution, which will in turn increase your recurring income. The business is flexi time. So this is the luxury of deciding when you want to do this business, right? We all got different lives, different commitments, but in this business, it's not part-time, it's flexi time. So you can decide, well, I'll do DuePoint every Tuesday night, or I'll do it every weeknight, or I'll do it on the weekends, or the whole of Sunday. It's completely up to you. Let it fit neatly into your life. But on the other side of it, you've got to keep yourself accountable to doing this business when you don't feel like it. Because I often say this business is not a hobby. It's not a New Year's resolution. This is something that will potentially change your life dramatically. So I wish that you would consider this business with all the seriousness that it deserves, right? So decide when you want to do the business, but always keep in mind that you have to keep yourself accountable to doing the business almost on a daily basis. There's no startup capital, so there's no registration fees in our business. We don't have boxes of product that you have to invest in. Did anyone see boxes outside? Right? Was anyone worried when they didn't see any boxes? They thought, how are we going to do this business? They've run out of stock already. Right? So we make the business as risk-free as possible so that as many people can engage in this business as possible. There's no qualifications or experience required. Did anyone bring their CVs with them tonight? No one's looking for a job? Good. We're not worried about your qualifications or experience. What I'm actually worried about is more about your work ethic. I don't care what your background is. And at the same time, we've been clever and we've contracted you out of the FSB obligations. Right? So because we work in financial services, we've got a whole list of rules that we have to abide by as a financial services provider, but because of the nature of our business, we've contracted you out of that. So you can still partake in the benefit of financial services without the worry of all of that obligation that we have to the regulator. Now you get to build an asset. Now for me, this is probably the biggest benefit on the slide, is that you get to build an asset, because this really is the antithesis of employment. And I like to refer to this funny meme. Does everyone know what a meme is? A meme. Do you know what a meme is? The young people know what a meme is? Okay, a meme's like a digital postcard that you get on WhatsApp, and then you have a little chuckle. It can be a cartoon or a picture of the caption. So I got this meme the other day that painted the picture perfectly. It was a man standing next to a brand new Lamborghini, a green one. Green Lamborghini, right? You see the Lamborghini shop is about 2 kilometers up the road from us. You hear the Lamborghinis coming past, all the rich people doing test drives past my office. So the man standing next to his brand new Lamborghini, 8 million rand car for the cheapest Lamborghini, and there's another man standing off to the side of him, admiring this man with his brand new Lamborghini. It's obviously his boss. So the guy says, "Oh, boss, that's a beautiful car you got." So the boss says to the young man, he says, "Young man, if you stay committed to this business and you carry on working as hard as you are, I can buy another one next year." Is that not what we're doing in employment? What we are doing is we're committing a lifetime, 40, 45 years to building up someone else's asset, right? And we don't often get to partake in the upside of that asset. So when a business starts doing really well, the business you work for, if it starts doing really well, do you get a bigger dividend check every quarter? Does your share portfolio suddenly increase? Does your salary increase in line with the business's profits? But on the opposite side, we've got to partake in the downside. So the downside of business or working as an employee for business is that we've got to partake in the excuse that the economy is not doing well or the industry is not doing well. We don't get an increase in line with inflation. Inflation is sitting at 5-6%. Your boss says, "Sorry, the economy is doing badly. We can't give anyone raises." If the business does really badly, then you get told we're looking at retrenching the staff, right? In this business, know that the time that you're sacrificing into building this channel of distribution, you have legal tender over this channel of distribution. It means you own it. You are building something that you own. It'll carry on paying you in terms of the recurring income that you build. It'll carry on paying you beyond retirement. There's no retirement in this business. It'll carry on paying out even when you die, because the asset value will get passed on in your estate. You can leave this business to your children, right? That's our hope. I would love to see wealth engineers passing on this value onto other generations. 20, 30, 40 years from now. Okay. There's no selling involved in our business, so this is a great thing. Do we have any star keen salespeople in the audience? None. That's a thin audience tonight. One. Okay. One person thinks they're a star salesperson. Majority of us hate selling. Right? Who wants to sell? Convince your friends to buy vitamins on the weekends. Who wants to do that? Nobody, right? We actually contract you out of selling. You don't need to speak about our products. You certainly will not be selling our products. All you're going to be doing is connecting people with the opportunity, the business opportunity that exists, an opportunity to make money. And that is probably the most attractive commodity that exists in South Africa today, especially in this economy. That's all you're going to be doing. The nature of our products, because they're financial, like I joked, no boxes outside. We don't have vitamins. We don't have milkshakes. They don't have expiry dates on them. You didn't have to load your boot tonight before you go home. You don't have to find space in your garage. And so we make the products as convenient as possible. But your success in this business is very much dependent on your ability to go out and build a channel of distribution. So I said I was going to show you what it looked like. It begins with you. You become a wealth engineer, and you're going to go out and connect people to the DuePoint business opportunity. When you are successful in doing that, and you have some friends, family, whoever, strangers, joining our business, that is the beginning of your channel of distribution, because they become wealth engineers. They will take out one of our products. That is the early beginnings of your channel. And so you'll have this organic growth that takes place, because the people that you introduce to the business will go out and do exactly the same thing you're doing. They are going to collaborate with you. They're going to be doing the same thing as you. They also want to build their channels. They also want to change their circumstances. And so we have massive collaboration in this business. Every single one of our wealth engineers in this business is out there doing exactly the same thing. And my hope is that you will build a sustainable business. Sustainable business is one that is built on quality individuals, because when you go out and you find these first few people, I hope that you go out and cherry pick the people that you want. People that you think are going to be effective, people that you can count on, people that have got the resources to thrive in a business like that. And that's how you build a quality business. And why would we want to build a quality, sustainable business? Because my vision for wealth engineers in, let's say, 5 years' time is that you'll have this sustainable channel that's paying you out a recurring income, and it now liberates you to take a 3-month holiday if you wanted to. Because you know DuePoint will be paying you every month. You've built a channel that you don't have to nurse every day, because you know it's sustainable. It's built on quality individuals because everybody is doing their job in your channel. So imagine taking that 3-month holiday and getting paid every month while you're on the beach. In employment, that's called retrenchment. But you don't go to the beach, you stay at home and sit in the garden, right? Completely different outlooks. Okay, so this is my picture of a channel of distribution, and this is our single focus here at DuePoint. My disclaimer slide. I trust that some people might have arrived this evening thinking, well, they've been invited to one of these schemes or a presentation of one of those businesses. We always hear the whisperings, the schemes and those businesses, and it's one of these companies. We're not any of those. We're a 70-year-old insurance company that's regulated by the Financial Services Board. We're not any of those schemes. You'll never hear out of myself or Brendan's mouth that people can be successful quickly in this business, or you'll be rich quickly in this business. The term get rich quick. Did anyone arrive here hoping to get rich quick? Don't lie to my face. Did anyone come here hoping to get rich slowly? Ah, right? Trick question. We are not a get rich quick scheme. If you've ever had the privilege of trying to start your own business, you will realize how difficult it is. It takes years, if not decades of time, to build something that you can deem successful. And this business is not dissimilar to that. This is an entrepreneurial opportunity. I'm reminded of Elon Musk's interview that I watched about a couple of months ago, where he was asked about entrepreneurship. He said people gloss over entrepreneurship. They romanticize the notion of entrepreneurship, right? So when we look at entrepreneurship, we look at the ballerina's foot. So that's a professional dancer, a ballerina. If you go to the State Theatre, that's what you're going to see on stage, prancing around on stage. But to become a professional dancer, you need to have practiced perhaps 10,000 hours. And a ballerina's foot really looks like that. And this is business. This is the analogy of business. Because we look at successful entrepreneurs, they might have a nice house, a nice car, the dog is good looking, everything's good looking, and we think, oh, that's what it looks like. But behind the scenes, it requires blood, sweat, and tears, right? And you have to chase after it aggressively. That's what's on offer in this business, an entrepreneurial opportunity. So that's my warning to you if anyone arrived, you're thinking they're going to become millionaires by December. Okay, so let's talk about how you earn in this business. There are 2 ways to earn. One is through our returns program. The returns program is what we pay you at the end of every month. That's the recurring income that you're going to build. So one is through the returns program. The second way is through our rewards program. So I'm going to go through the returns program first. We pay a base return fee of R27.50 for every product that you have in your channel, right? But that is dependent on where the product lies in relation to you. So remember the first few individuals you introduced to the business? This product lies on your first point. It is 1 point away from you, and on your first point you can see we actually pay you double the R27.50. So you get paid R55 for every product. It's recurring, so it's every month that you get the R55 for every product. Then on point 2 builds, and you can see we pay you R55 again on point 2. And then your third point builds, and on the third point you see the multiplier drop to 100%, and as your channel starts to grow further and further, the multiplier starts to drop steadily. Oh, no products to sell. We've got questions. Let's reserve questions for after the presentation. Otherwise, if all 140 ask one question, we'll be here till midnight, right? Okay, so you see the multiplier starts to drop. But what's important to note is that we don't limit you at point 8. From point 8, we will carry on paying 4% of that base return fee for every product in your channel. We don't limit you on how big your channel can get, and we don't limit you on how much money you can earn at DuePoint. We've got wealth engineers already getting close to point 30 in their businesses in the space of 22 months. So there's no limitation. The accountability falls squarely on your shoulders. You want a channel that's beyond point 30, it's on offer. So this is the mechanics of the returns. It's fairly straightforward. The next question we typically get is, well, how much money do people earn in this business beyond just the R55 per product? So the accountants created this projection over the next 5 years. We call it the path to success. It is based on a premise. So the premise is a brand new wealth engineer comes in and they should be able to put 3 people into the business in the first month. And then every consecutive month, they only have to bring in another 2 people. So we call it the 3+2 growth formula. So it's going to be 3 in January, 2 in February, 2 in March, 2 in April, 2 in May, and you keep bringing 2 into perpetuity. If you can follow this growth formula, you can expect to be earning these numbers. R2,500 after 6 months. Who would spend 6 months working to earn R2,500? Nobody. Oh, Everyone's going to have to leave now. Okay. So this is my opportunity to illustrate you the value of money differently to what we perceive money as. And we very much make the mistake, like I do. I constantly do it. I berate myself all the time. We think of money in terms of its spending value. This is how consumers think. This is how the economy wants us to think, right? You always hear the economists talking, oh, we need to increase spending. The interest rate's going to come down, and hopefully it's going to increase consumerism. They want us to spend. And if we keep thinking like that, we are never going to sort our issues out. So I want to change the way you think about money. And to illustrate it, I'm going to show you someone who has debt. So here we have an example of someone that's got R1 million debt. They've got a R1 million bond with a bank, right? So they financed a property. They've agreed to enter a bond contract with the bank. And at prime plus 2 on R1 million, you're going to be paying back 11,500 rand for 20 years. So if my age, you're 40, I found this lovely little townhouse in Bryanston, I get to enjoy the prospect of paying back that bank 11,500 for 20 years. So at the age of 60, I'll make my last installment and suddenly become a homeowner for the first time. Right? Hopefully just before Brendan kicks me out and retires me. But at the age of 40, I joined DuePoint, and 6 months later, with some success, I'm earning 2,500 rand, little 2,500 rand. And Rob says, don't spend the money, pay your debt off faster. Aspire to paying your debt off faster. So I decided, okay, I'll put the 2,500 rand in my bond. What great effect is that going to have? Can I tell you what the effect's going to be? Instead of taking 20 years to pay that bond off, you'll pay that bond off in 11 and a half years. I'll be 51 when I make that final installment on my house and become a homeowner. Do you know how much money it saves me in repayments to the bank? Close to R1 million. Doesn't that blow your mind? The house that I financed cost R1 million, and you telling me 2,500 rand is going to save me R1 million. Because my first impression of 2,500 rand after 6 months was also like, oh, how are we going to sell this business if people don't like the 2,500 rand, right? But then I started to recognize the value of being on the right side of compound interest. If you have debt in your life, you're on the wrong side of compound interest. After 12 months, you've created for yourself in excess of 100,000 rand in annual recurring income. Who would like a 100,000 rand check today? Every year in January, everyone come past, I'll just hand out 100,000 rand checks once a year to everybody. So there you go. Get through January. That's 12 months away. After 24 months, you're close on 30,000 rand a month. Now that's life-changing. Think about your cost of living list that you have, right? How many items can you tick off with an extra 30,000 rand a month? We keep going. 36 months away, you're close to 50,000 rand a month. Do you want to look at the debt illustration again? At month 30, you're probably earning about 36,000 rand a month. Here's an example of someone with a 5 million rand bond. If you decide to, now you've got that decision always, 36,000 rand a month. What are you going to do with 36,000 rand a month? You're going to pay your debt off, or do you go buy nice stuff? Do you know you can buy a 2 million rand car for 36,000 rand a month? You can finance a 2 million rand car. So I know exactly which car I'm going to buy. Porsche 911 GTS Targa. It's like a dark silver color. I know the mags that I want, the interior. 36,000 rand a month. That's what I can afford. Or alternatively, I can do a very boring thing and put it into my debt. And no one will know that I'm successful because I'll still be driving around in a Polo. Do you see the decisions we constantly faced? That's a decision I've got to make every single day. But if we put the money into the 5 million rand bond, I'll pay that house off in less than 7 years. At the age of 47, I'll be a homeowner of a 5 million rand house. I paid my debt off. Rob says, now create wealth. So I decide to invest in more property. I buy a second house and pay that off at the age of 54. I buy a third 5 million rand house and pay that off at the age of 61. I'm now retired. I'm living in one house that I paid off when I was 54. I own another 2 properties that I've been renting out for 60 to 70,000 rand a month. What will DuePoint be paying me in 21 years' time? Is that not the retirement you want for yourself? This is what we envision for people in this business, right? Not only just the ability to make more money, but to start thinking differently about money, to empower themselves to have this paradigm shift that suddenly happens. At 48 months, you're closing in on 70,000 rand a month. At 60 months, short 5 years away, you've created for yourself about R1 million in annual recurring income. Who would like a 1 million rand check every year. Right? 1 million rand. That's 6 zeros. Every single year in recurring income. At what stage of this path to success can you tell your boss what you really think about him or her? Who can currently tell their boss what they really think about him or her? No one, right? You don't have that ability. So this is all academic, because this is based on this premise, the 3+2 growth formula. It's something the accountants came up with, so it's really just theory. You can become a wealth engineer and do nothing. You can be part of the 0+0 club, as I call them. But on the other side, you can also do more than 3+2. If you want more than 2,500 rand after 6 months, who makes that decision? If you want more than 1 million rand after 5 years, who makes that decision? It's not me, it's not DuePoint, it's yourselves, right? That accountability always lies with you. And so we always invite, like Tell All Tuesday is our evening when we invite these wealth engineers up onto stage to tell us their story. Because they've either achieved more than 3+2, they've had early success, or they've showed this tenacity in this business with real, kind of showing real value towards money in creating this recurring income. So our first guests are Mike and Vilna. So come up onto stage. Yeah, give them a warm welcome. Come stand next to me. In the light. In the limelight. Mike, I think we're starting with you. So Mike and Vilna have been here since day 0. Doesn't mean the drought started 2 years ago. It means the day we opened our doors to business. 23 months ago, it was February. So Mike, Vilna, I'm going to just leave it up to you guys. You can tell us your experience of the business, and I'll chime in if I feel the need to.
Okay.
Thanks, Rob. Yes, it's been a fantastic experience these 2 years. If you look at those figures and you think back to the path to success, we're well behind the 8 ball. The 3+2 plan, if we followed that diligently, we would have been on double what we are at the moment. But that doesn't matter, because I want to differ with Rob. He says that this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. I want you to show me how you can, starting off with a capital outlay of nothing, and in 5 years' time, end up with an income of 1 million rand a year. It's just not possible. So this really is an opportunity where you can get rich quick. And it depends on yourself how quickly you're going to get there. In our case, we're a bit older than the average. Not much, but yes. And it's taken us a bit longer. We're running another business as well, full time. So yes, we've had our problems, and we've had times that we've not pushed the way we should. And this is where I want to really affirm everything that we learn from these people, from Rob and from Brendan. Brendan has said many a time, you have to work at this constantly. Rob said it tonight. He also said, I think it was a previous presentation, he said that you just have to continue. Keep up, continue, and do it over and over again. And that's what it's about. It doesn't matter whether you're doing it fast, whether you're doing it slow, but it has to become a lifestyle. I read about a chap called Jonathan Edwards. He lived in the 18th century. When he was 19 years old, he wrote down 70 resolutions, 70 resolutions. And he read those resolutions every morning so that they become part of his life. If you want to grow in this business, if you want to really feel the success, this has to be part of your lifestyle. If it's not, you're not going to make it. If you're satisfied with 2,000 or 3,000 rand a month, fine, treat it as a hobby. But if you really want to get there, from day one, make room for it in your life. And get up every morning and decide, today I'm going to do this to achieve what I have to achieve in DuePoint. Besides everything else you do, we've all got problems. And the next bloke has got a lot more than you have. But let's carry on, let's do it. Make time in your life and make it work. It's really worthwhile.
Thanks, Mike. Vilna?
I just want to say thank you to our team. You are absolutely rocking. And You know, you get up in the morning sometimes and you feel, another day. Just say to yourself, get up, get dressed, show up. And never ever get despondent. Just carry on, push through, because the minute you give up, you've lost every dream that you've ever had. So keep on it, and to our team, if any of you feel you need a bit encouragement, please feel free to phone us, talk to us, come and have a cup of coffee with us. We're there for you. We're there to help you through everything. But the main thing is, get to know your products. If you don't know your products, you don't know how the business is working. You've got to watch the videos, my first 30 days, and the video on the remuneration, how you're going to get paid. Because those two you've got to understand. You've got to follow the first 30 days. You will be successful if you do that. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a situation, your December salary is going to last through the 3 months of January. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Consistency is key, and perseverance. Thank you, Mike and Vilna. We've got thousands of wealth engineers that join this business every single month. Everyone is running their own race, creating additional streams of income over and above the risk that employment poses to us. So I always say, run your own race, decide what you want out of this business, and then figure out a way to get there. All right, so I said there was a second way to earn. That's through our XP Rewards program. So our XP Rewards program works like this. You'll become a brand new wealth engineer, and when you start engaging in typical wealth engineer behavior, we reward you along the way. So we reward you for the success that you have in our business. So there are a whole bunch of things that you can do. You come to intro presentations, you bring guests with you, you do home presentations, you watch the training. There's a plethora of different things, about 20 different things that you can engage with that earn you something called XP, stands for experience points. And when you start collecting more and more XP and your channel starts to grow, we reward you. So new wealth engineers will start out as rank 0 wealth engineers. You can see you're not even on the slide. You're not very important to us yet, right? But all you need is 1,000 XP and 4 products in your qualified channel, and that will make you a rank 1 wealth engineer. And when you become rank 1, we give you a once-off 55 Rand reward at the end of the month. Just a once-off, not recurring income, 55 Rand, so you can go buy some cake and celebrate your early success at DuePoint on your own. All right? Slice of cake's about 55 Rand. But what it proves to you, now I promise you this, if you can get to rank 1, you can get to any rank. Because as you start to rank up, as you start collecting more XP and your channel starts to grow, the rewards certainly become bigger and better. There's a 20,000 Rand check waiting for you, a 50,000 Rand check. We give tools to our wealth engineers along the way to help them build their channels of distribution more effectively and more efficiently. At rank 5, all our rank 5s get this Lightning USB drive that plugs into any device. More importantly, it's got all our video collateral on the device. So for example, Patrick and Pumi, they can show people the DuePoint opportunity regardless of what device they have around them. At rank 7, we spend 12,500 Rand on brand new business cards for our wealth engineers. Right? So that's what they look like. There's no ink on them. There's no printing that happens in this process. They are manufactured. The logo, the sides are gilded in gold. You get 1,000 business cards. Why would we spend so much money on business cards? Because this is one of the foremost tools in business. When you sit down opposite somebody to propose something to them and you pull out a 12,500 Rand business card, which is about 50 times more expensive than the business card they have, I promise you your credibility goes up. Because you're going to be mentioning a business like DuePoint. They've probably never heard of DuePoint before. So you don't have any credibility. But I promise you that 12,500 Rand business card will afford you a few more minutes to explain what DuePoint's all about. At rank 9, this is our first recurring reward. So this is something that happens every single year. You get to, with your family, go on this rank 9 international conference with DuePoint every single year. It is 7 days away at a 5-star luxury resort, business class flights, all expenses paid. You can leave your wallet at home. Right? You leave your wallet at home. Just bring the passport and the children. Don't forget the children. So we have just come back from our first Rank 9 trip. And a lot of people were wondering, well, what's this Rank 9 trip really going to be all about? So take a look. We documented it for you.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sand where no one can see. You stand on at the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
Shame, I think Pumi thought those little guppies were going to eat her when we threw her down into the ocean. Okay, who turned the lights off? We need to turn them back on. There we go. Thank you, ma'am. So this is our Rank 9 conference that happens every single year. Every single year. You guys have got about 10 months to get to 2018's Rank 9 conference. Half of our wealth engineers that made Rank 9 did it in less than a year. But it is completely up to you. One gentleman made it in 5 months. If you don't make 2018's, you're free to make 2019's conference. There's no deadline on our XP Rewards program at any stage. Always accountability lies with you. At rank 11, we spend R250,000 on a brand new car that we then present to our wealth engineers. No T's and C's. We buy the car cash in your name and give it to you. No debit order at the end of the month. That's the best kind of car to own. It's the one without the debit order at the end of the month. Right. So this is our XP Rewards program. You can see we're at rank 11. The program is actually designed up to rank 28 so far. We've mapped out what we think is the next 20 to 30 years for our wealth engineers. If you're getting a car at rank 11, what is happening at rank 28? Someone said something the other day. You go to heaven. That's what he said. And then he said, but then you come back. So you just go have a peek in heaven and then you come back. That's all you get at rank 28. So that's our XP Rewards program. And I think we have our next wealth engineer coming up, Spongile and Kanya. Come up, guys. Can come stand here next to me. There we go. So this is a mother and son team. Spongile is going to be speaking to us in Zulu. She's going to tell us all about her experience of DuePoint. She's had wonderful success in the business. Her channel's already valued at over 10,000, over 12,000 Rand a month. And you can see she joined almost a year ago, 11 months. So that's wonderful. So I'm going to hand over the microphone to you, and then Kanya is going to speak to us in English afterwards.
Ngiyanibingelela nonke.
Greetings to you all.
Igama lami nguSibongile.
Her name is Bongile.
I think wait to the end, Kanya. Otherwise, they're not going to hear you on the microphone.
Le business le ngayithola ngoNoma Shabangu. Engitshela eseThekwini. Wathi kune business engifuna ukuthi uyijoyine. Kwakuyi conference ye 2017 eMonte Casino.
Okay, basically she's saying she was introduced to this business by a lady called Norma Shabangu. She resides in Durban. She invited her to a conference that was held at Monte Casino during the year 2017.
Yo, ngathi mangifika laphana ngathola abantu bebahle. Ngathola bebahle beshaye abothayi aba black. Abomama bephethe amaphesa angaka. Notice kwame esikhulu okhonzeka. Notice kwame esikhulu okhonzekhaya. Bephethe into ezingaka.
Okay, basically she's saying when she got there, she came across good-looking people. Gentlemen were wearing nice clothing with black ties. Ladies were carrying nice small purse, not that big bag, you know, when you carry when you go home.
Ay ngavele nga excited ngiyazi ngezwe nje ukuthi ya la ngifike khona ibusiness ke le. Bathema beqala iqala le business. Ngangilokhu ngigijima ngiphuma. Ngingasezwa sengibona ukuthi ngizoqala ngobani. Yazi sengimbone ngizoqala ngayo ukuthi ubani.
Okay, she's saying, you know, before they could even finish the meeting, she already knew who she was going to invite first. She was so excited, overwhelmed.
Ya ngabona ukuthi angiqale ekhaya. Qale ekhaya ungakayi kwezinye indawo. Ngathinta indodana. Indodana yami nayo lela iduze kwami yesithathu. Kukhona eyesibili usiya bayazi usiya ike iphumile nayo la. Ngathi siya hayi siya. Ngithi intela siya uyazi. Ngifuna into zakho thumela into zakho ujoyine.
Okay, so the first person that I thought of to introduce to this business was my family. Okay, one of the person that I introduced to this business was my son next to me, which is myself. Okay, but then before I was introduced to this business, there's a brother of mine by the name of Siabonga Smelane. He has been to this stage before. He has also appeared on the slide. My mom also contacted him, and he advised him to look close to the business and sign up.
Ngithe ngisuka hey lapho kwakuphuma ama-award. Uyazi ngingezwa lutho. Ngibona ukuthi lento le ngifuna ibe sekhaya ke le. Ngiyamazi ke usiya umuntu othanda network. Uke wahamba sengibuya mina nase Mauritius lapho indiza ngizobe ngaqala ukuyibona this year nge Mauritius nethinyana.
Okay, Siaboga has been to network marketings. you know, even herself as well. So even the flight that they'll be boarding on to Mauritius in 2018, it won't be her first time going to Mauritius, even to be in that flight.
Ya ngayitshela indodana yami kuthe kusuka lapho umama Shabangu noma hi mam Noma ngiyabonga mam Noma wang introduce engilayela indlela eseThekwini wathi hamba uye eBranston main and pain ngangisuka eThembisa mina ngagibela ngathi ngizofika ngafika wathi uzofika uthola amakomishi eti uphuza hlala uphuza nangempela ngathi ngafika amakomishi ebekiwe ngaphuza iti ngalindela i-presentation ithema ingena thema siphuma lapho kuthiwa abajoyinayo ngizoza isimanga ngeza ngiphethe ucash 274 ngesandla ngiphethe icard ukuthi mangabe kuthiwa asifuna ucash siyaswapha ngiyaswapha njengamanje.
Okay, basically all she's saying is that she didn't know where DuePoint head office was, but then Mam Noma, from where she was, she managed to direct her to this office. She gave her the address, and then she navigated herself to this head office. And then she was told by Noma that when she gets here, she will enjoy the cup of coffee there and relax until the presentation commences.
Nangempela ngayingena ipresentation lalelani ke nginitshele ze ungathuswa abantu bethi le business kufuneka kube nemoto mina nginamoto mina.
Don't be scared by people telling you that you need a car to run this business. Listen here, I do not have a car, but I'm doing this business.
Ngani ngoba nomntwana mayezala kazalwe gijima uqala phansi mina le business ngihamba ngenyawo ngiye esontweni ngifike ngitshela abasesontweni ama colleagues ami ngale business ngitshela ifamily yami enye into engifuna ukunitshela yona mangabe kunomshado umenyi wemshadweni musulinda ama 7 colors. Mina ngifike ngigxuma ngihlale kumuntu ngimtshene ngebusiness ngithi woza siyo uyobona nayi business noma ngabe ngiye ku funeral ngigxuma ngihlale ngitshele khohlwa iloyo lele lapha.
Okay, let me get this one through. Okay. Even if the child is given birth, that child would not stand up the next day and run. You know, you need to nurture that child, make sure that the child is taken care of. That's exactly the same with the DuePoint system. Now, she's also saying that, you know, when she goes to the funerals, go to the wedding ceremonies, she does not look or wait for the 7-color plate, you know. Before that item could come, she identifies people that she's going to attend, and immediately she does that.
No wasting time.
Enye into engiyithandayo ngeDuePoint. iDuePoint ithi ayifuni ukuthi une qualification. Mina njengoba ngikhuluma isiZulu angifundanga. Kodwa ngiyayirana le business ilokho engithandayo ngeDuePoint.
Okay, basically she's saying you do not need a qualification to do this business. As she's standing here, she's saying she's not educated, she did not get the opportunity that we got. That is why she's speaking Zulu. So, yeah, she's doing the business.
Nize ningathuswa iloko ke ngime la nje ngigijima ngenyawo ngirana le business okunye engikubongayo ake ngibonge i-team yami. I-team yami kuno Busisiwe Mbuyisa. Hi Bus. Hayi ziyagijima usemnambithi. Bagijima ngeemoto baneemoto ke abokhaya laba nobosiya. Bagijima bayo present emnambithi. Ngakhohlwa i-second point yami Shadrack Twala. I'm sure bayamazi abaningi bayamazi. Shadrack Twala mfana wami hi. Hi Shadrack. UShadrack ke hayi uyayithinta italento. Uyayithinta italento yonke ama XPs athi Shadrack number 1. Ini ti Shadrack. Hi Shadrack.
Basically, she's acknowledging her team that has worked very hard behind her, and she is also passing her regards to Shadrack Twala as well as Siyabonga Smelane, Busisiwe Mbuyisa. Those are the her team that are running behind her.
The way besebenza ngakhona sebebuye Northern West. Sinabantu base Northwest abalandile. Ngalokho ngithi 2018 i-team yami angeke ngihambe ngedwa or angeke hamba usiya yedwa. Sizo ukuye Mauritius 2018 Rob. My team Newcastle. Ngithulela isigqoko. Siyaya yiyo. Kuyoya 5 or 4 yayo not 1. Ngibonge i-executive ya se head office abo Brandon, Rob nabo Jane mangifike la uyatatazela ngiyabonga. Ngiyabonga mina ningibona nje ngugogo ngimpensioner. Emsebenzini ngiyeke ngingakayiholi le mali engiholayo namhlanje. Ngina 17 years ngisebenza umlungu. Bengaholi ngisho. Kodwa bengakaze ngifike ngisho ku 10,000 ku 17 years. You guess what? Bengihola 8,000. Kodwa ngiyabonga ku DuePoint ngisazogijima. Ngiyabonga.
Okay, just to sum it up, she basically stated that she is now a retired lady, and for 17 years she has been working. She never earned what you are seeing on the slide here. She has been earning 8,000 rand since she started working. What you guys are seeing today is the first time receiving this kind of money in her hands. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Sure. You can see Mama Spongile means business. Right? No wasting time, head down, working, and she's created a national business for herself. And you might think that she said it herself, she hasn't had the privilege of being educated like we have the privilege. But I think the technology that DuePoint's invested so heavily in has empowered her to do the best that she can with this business and thrive in this business. So well done. Thank you, Mama. So there's a third way to benefit as a wealth engineer. So we spoke about the returns, the rewards. There's something that we do called a wealth quest every month. It is a challenge that we issue to our wealth engineers. It runs from the first to the last day of the month. Every month is different. January's is called Hit 2018 Sprinting. So we've got, about 9 days left of January. We challenge you to bring 20 people into your channel in the month of January, and if those people pay their debit orders successfully, you'll be earning an extra 10,000 Rand at the end of this month. And you'll probably be earning about 1,100 Rand in recurring income. You'll be on your way to rank 3 already. You can do that in the space of 30 days in this month. So every month we have a different wealth quest, so be aware of that. We often get asked the question, well, how does DuePoint, how does the business model work here? How are we able to spend so much money on the returns, the rewards for our wealth engineers? Typical insurance companies spend a lot of money on marketing and advertising to gain clients. So there's Prime Meridian Direct down the road. They have an astronomical budget daily that they spend on advertising. And we all see that advertising constantly. At DuePoint, we don't do any advertising. We don't spend a cent on marketing. You won't see a DuePoint logo outside of this building because we rely on our wealth engineers, on the people in this business to go out and tell other people about DuePoint. And so we don't have to spend the billions that typically is spent in marketing and advertising by insurance companies every year. We can take that budget and attribute it to our returns and rewards program to the benefit of our wealth engineers that are helping us in this business. And that's basically how our business model works. We have 3 products in the business. Their benefit is all financial in nature. You are free to look at taking out one product or all 3 products, completely up to you. We start with Access Wealth. This is our investment product. It is 299 Rand a month, and it is broken down further into 2 products. So first of all, 100 Rand will be invested into a tax-free investment fund in your name. So this is a no restriction or delayed investment. That means you can draw out that investment at any stage. It takes us about 72 hours to draw out that investment for you, and then we give you a little bit of insurance with this product to the value of 110,000 Rands worth of personal accident cover. So for example, you'll have this investment building up every month. If you are killed in any form of accident, we'll pay out your beneficiaries 110,000 Rand plus whatever's in that investment. So this is the Access Wealth plan, product number 1. Product number 2 is called Wealth Guard. Now this is strictly an insurance product, so it's only insurance. It's 274 Rand a month, but this time you get 1.1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. The beauty of our personal accident cover in this product as well as in the Access Wealth product is that because it's not life cover or in funeral cover, we are able to offer this product to anyone over the age of 18 because we don't profile you from a health risk point of view. So if you take up this product, you're not going to be seeing a nurse. You don't have to declare every time you've been to a doctor. You can be 70 years old, you can be diabetic, and you can still take out this cover for yourself because the premium remains the same regardless of your health or your age, and the amount of cover that you receive remains the same. Okay, so this is Wealth Guard, our insurance product. The third product is called Wealth Points, called the Wealth Points Buyers Club program. It is 274 Rand a month, and what this product aims to do is save us money on the money that we're spending every month anyway. So if you look at the list of suppliers, these are partners, these are companies that we've gone to and engaged with and negotiated discounts with these companies that we pass on to our Wealth Points members. So I bet you spend at least with one of these partners that you see in the list there. So for example, always on Wi-Fi data, you can buy, instead of paying the normal 100 Rand per gig of data, we've negotiated them down to 37 Rand per gig of data. So if you look at all of these, there's different discounts with all of them. The retailers are obviously a lot tighter. We've got Eagle Ford there. We've had cars sold to wealth engineers at wonderful discounts. We are always adding to this program. If you're looking for immediate benefit, Wealth Points is a wonderful product to take up. If you have any questions around the products, come speak to me. Last Saturday, we did our training on our products for 2018. So go take a look at that training. If you want more in-depth knowledge around the products, go look at the training. Today we loaded up 3 new videos for each of the products on YouTube. Go take a look at that. It's an in-depth review of each of the products. All right, Arena, please come join me on stage. There you go. So Rena was one of the very hard-working wealth engineers that joined us on our Rank 9 trip. And Rena has been involved in network marketing for a very long time. The beautiful thing about our Rank 9 trip is that we get to know each other a lot better, don't you think?
Definitely.
And so I want Rena to tell everybody how she got started, not just in this business, but in network marketing. Rena?
Thank you. Hello, everybody. My voice is going a little bit, I think it's the aircon. I'm coughing a little bit, so just excuse me. Yeah, so what happened to me is I became a nurse and I did my studies, and then my husband was transferred to Welverdiend on the other side of Carltonville. and there was no trains, no buses, nothing, so I couldn't nurse. So I got the bulldog wheelbarrow sickness. I don't know if you know about that. I have never seen it on Google, so don't go look for it. It's like this.
Duck back.
And you go and sit in a corner, and if somebody wants to move you, they must move you, because I'm cross with the world, because life owes me. And it went on for a while. I had a baby, and I was sitting there at the home, very poor, in the railway house with a pot toilet system outside, very frustrated. So one day an angel come, a real wonderful person. I wish I could remember her name, but I can't. But maybe she's sitting there somewhere, or sitting here somewhere. If ever you recognize me, please come and talk to me, because I want to say thank you to you. You changed my life. Because she came to the house, and I opened, and she showed me Rivera products. I don't know if you remember that. Plastic buckets with food in it, and sweeties and chips and popcorn. And I said to her, I would love to buy it, but I don't have money. So she said, do you want to become an agent? I said, what then? She said, you can sell it and then you can make money. I said, light bulb moment. Okay, let's do it. There's 200 houses in the area, so I can walk from home to home and start selling. So suddenly the wheelbarrow was gone. And since then, I've been introduced to so many network marketing companies. Some I've lost money, some I had to spend lots of money to join. And I read in books and I listened to lots of education about network marketing. And what they say is, if you see a good network or a business, join it and learn about it. And if you don't like it, cancel it. So I did. I've stopped counting, but I think I'm very close to 100 now. But the amazing thing is, when we moved back to Joburg, Roloff and Marsha came to us and they said they've got something to show us. And no, it wasn't Marsha, Roloff's ex-wife. So they came and they showed us golden products. So we started with that. So it went well. And then eventually I've spoke to an accountant and he said to me, so how much are you making and how much are you spending? So I showed him and he said, so actually you're working at a loss. So I said, no, that can't be. So I stopped. And then I went to the next network and the next network. In the meantime, when we got back to Joburg, I also started nursing again. And then I started believing that you need to, for the rest of your life, you need 2 incomes, because you can't put all your money in one basket. So your work is your one leg and your network is your other leg. And if you don't do that, you'll never get by and you'll never have enough money for your dreams. And I've got big dreams. I've even changed my hobbies. My hobbies must bring me money or I don't do it anymore.
Time's money, right?
Yes. So eventually, then we got to know about Boltron, and I actually phoned Marsha and said, please can I show you the business? So she invited us to them, and they joined us. So we did Boltron together for about 20 years, and then Boltron was sold to Constantia and it became DuePoint. So then my whole network was despondent. They thought it was a funeral, and about 90% of them resigned. So I was shocked. And the nursing profession, I was retired from nursing at that stage, but they called me back and said there's a shortage of nurses. So I started nursing again. Eventually I saw in my statements, wow, something's happening. It's growing, it's growing. And then one day I said to Malcolm, there's something happening. And Marsha phoned me and said, did you see what's happening in your team? And I said, Marsha, I did see, but I'm still not sure, you know. And she said, no, we must meet. So we had a chat, and she said, no, you can't sit around and not do something. There's big growth in the team. So I started doing a little bit here and there, here and there. Eventually, I qualified for rank 9. So I realized, oh, I'm going to go on holiday forever. So then my real wake-up call came. So now I'm full steam. So I want to thank Marsha and Rudolph from the bottom of my heart. I love you very much. Thank you for waking us up. Thank you to our teams that's been working so hard. And thank you for all of you watching. I love you a lot. And I want to help my team. I want at least 10 rank 12s. You know why rank 12? Because by that time they must all have a course paid by DuePoint, and then we can go on holiday together forever. So that is what I want from you too. All my teams that's sitting out there, that's sometimes watching, sometimes not. You can do it. I believe in you. There's only one thing that we must remember. When you forget everything else, remember the word ask. A-S-K. Ask him for help. Then ask the people around you, would you like to have some extra money? Can I help you to get to your dream? Would you like to have new tires for your car? Can you afford to pay the school fees? Can I help you to do that? So, just keep on asking, and then seek. Keep on seeking for those people, and keep on knocking at hearts, and giving them hope for the future. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Me and Malcolm, Rob, and everybody at DuePoint. You are wonderful people, and it's so amazing. For just over 5 years ago, I actually saw in my book, I wrote, Lord, please change Boltron to use technology and methodologies to make it easier so I don't have to do presentations and one-on-ones anymore. Wow! And it's happened. It's just wonderful.
Amen.
So my husband also gave me a list of things that I must chat to you about. He's actually analytical, very analytical.
It's the brains behind the business.
Yeah. Just
You the
hold that
beauty
for me.
behind the business.
And Rob,
Hmm?
so I must confess, I started networking at 22.
Hmm?
And I've been doing it for 41 years, but I don't feel 63 yet.
So it is a pensioner's tell-all.
Yeah, so let me read to you what Malcolm said. He said there's 10 points about DuePoint that he really likes a lot. And he's an analytical person, like I said. They are very professional and very organized. What they promise, they always deliver. They always give first-class presentations and training. Everything they do is first class. No more paperwork, no more videos and things we have to buy. Up-to-date technology. Commitment and support from management and client services is always there. No cut-off dates for incentives. Have you ever heard about that? Every network that I've been in have a cut-off date. Then next time you start from zero to work for the next incentive. No cut-offs here. Commitment and support from, oh yeah, that one I said. You don't have to qualify for incentives and still pay for things that you have to use on your holiday or incentive. That is wonderful because at Mauritius we didn't even pay for the tips. We could just order anything and everything was included.
You didn't tip
Awesome.
them?
No. I was told not to.
Don't worry, we tipped them.
I'm not allowed to use my purse. Okay. And we were really spoiled beyond our dreams. It was really fantastic. Okay, and the plan stays the same. There's no changes every 3 months, every 6 months, every what? That was very tiring. Okay, so just keep going and you will see that you can do it. Okay. The business just becomes easier the longer you do it. Believe in yourself that you can do it and you will be successful. Keep on asking.
Thanks, Rena. So we've known Rena and Malcolm, well, I've known Rena and Malcolm since the first day we launched the business. They were invited to the first day, and over the last 2 years, you guys were very hesitant, right? We are very young, 2 years old, still babies. But what we've really used the last 2 years to do is to build belief in this country, in our business. And that's why it's so important for us to be reliable, to be trustworthy. And I think, even at the 2-year stage, I think people now are starting to believe that this business is actually delivering on what it promises. And that's so powerful. I think you guys had such a huge shift in how you treated the business after the Rank 9 trip. So thank you for your commitment. Very excited to see where that goes. All right. So the decision. What is the decision we need to make this evening? Our guests. What are we faced with? For me, I like to sum it up. Again, I think about that Elon Musk interview that I saw where he speaks about people romanticizing what entrepreneurship looks like. We've discussed all the positive aspects, what we have on the table here at DuePoint. And the question really is, the decision is are you going to engage in the work that's required to do this business? That's the question for me. Often say this isn't a hobby, it's not a New Year's resolution. We are offering you to change your circumstance, to change your life, and this is really just the beginning. At 23 months old, this is just the beginning. At rank 11, when you get a free car, it is just the beginning. Whether you like to believe that or not, what vision do you have for yourself in this business, and are you willing to go after it? Joining this business is very straightforward. Read our code of conduct. It is our contract with you that defines what you can and cannot do as a wealth engineer. Registering as a wealth engineer is very straightforward. You can do it online. It takes about 7 minutes to do. You can do it on the cell phone that the person who brought you here on their mobile app. And then once you become a wealth engineer, start applying yourself to this business, to this channel. Not unlike any other business. Understand the business. Start empowering yourself with the knowledge. So we've got a basic series that are 7 videos. It's 7 hours of your life that you need to invest to understand every facet of this business and how to build a channel of distribution, and then set goals for yourself. This is probably one of the most underestimated tools in business and in life, is people don't set goals for themselves. They think that perhaps dreaming about what they want at night is setting a goal. It isn't. A goal is a very black and white thing. You need to put a stick in the sand, right? And there's a bit of vulnerability in that process. To put a stick in the sand and say, that's where I want to be in a year's time. Do that for yourself. Set that goal, and then we will help you prepare a plan to strategize to get to that goal, and then the basic activity of just speaking to people. This business is very simple. It is open to everybody, but it requires you to speak to someone every day if you want to be successful, right? A simple task. We like to speak to people constantly. All right, we've got merchandise. This is all on display in the merchandise cabinet. It's not a profit center for us. These are tools that we thought would help you be more effective in building your channel. Foremost for me is please consider getting business cards. So before I buy the very expensive black ones, please consider the vanilla ones, right? Get these for yourselves. These are tools of business that you cannot go without. The USB sticks are great. We've got all our videos on there. If you're data shy, use those. And those pins on the top left corner represent people that are earning money at DuePoint. Once you become a rank 1 wealth engineer, you are allowed to buy one of those pins. So if you ever go ask advice from anybody, make sure you're asking advice from someone who has a pin on their lapel. If they don't have a pin on their lapel, you're asking advice from the 0+0 club. Right? Do you want advice from the 0+0 club? No! So the moment you become rank 1, get one of those pins, wear it with pride. because it proves that you're able to make this business work for yourself. Join or at least subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like we mentioned earlier, we loaded up 3 new videos today. There were 2 videos loaded up last week. So the new videos are the 3 product videos. The 2 videos last week are Brendan and myself doing this intro presentation in less than 20 minutes. So I think Brendan's version is 20 minutes. My version is 15 minutes. Go for the shorter version. Go for the shorter version, but that's available for you. If you subscribe, it'll tell you every time we're about to start a live stream. It tells you every time we load up a new video. Download the mobile app. It's available for Android and Apple devices. It is your primary tool of business, is that mobile app. That app tells you in real time what is happening in your entire business, second to second. When you wake up in the morning, it will tell you if you earned money while you were sleeping, right? Download the app, update your profile photo. We give you 1,000 XP the moment you update your profile photo. How much XP do you need for rank 1? There we go. Smile away. 1 smile away. You've got 1,000 XP. Some don'ts that I want to highlight in our code of conduct. So, you cannot become a wealth engineer typically if you don't have the resources to thrive in this business. This business is very much targeted towards people that can do well and thrive in the business. And you need resources to do that, unfortunately. But that's just a realistic outlook. If you cannot afford one of our products, you're most likely not going to. We don't want to burden the burden, in other words. If you don't have access to the internet or data, you're going to really struggle in this business. We've invested so much in technology that allows you to empower yourself and spread your business nationally very quickly overnight, but it can only be done with the technology, and that is data and internet driven. If you struggle with transport, you're going to struggle in this business. So even Rena said, even though she didn't have a car and no train tracks, there was a train there, but you decided to walk. Right? And Spongile, you've been walking around and talking to everybody. But you still need access to transport, get to head office, meet your team, that type of thing. So this highlights the fact that you need resources to thrive in the business. Don't ever complete a DuePoint application form on behalf of somebody else. This is actually illegal and fraudulent. So every person has to fill out the application themselves. You cannot write down the details and do it for them later. They have to be the ones clicking on the check boxes, agreeing to the terms and conditions, because they are the ones entering into the contract with us. Don't add direct family members that are in your household into your business. We have this rule that's called the anti-stacking rule. And then fourthly, don't start your own DuePoint Facebook page. So this gives me grey hairs. I don't know what else to say about it, because it still happens. People are going out and starting Facebook pages and trying to advertise DuePoint on social media. This is actually breaking financial services regulation, so we can get into a lot of trouble. We have a company contracted that reports on this on a daily basis, tells us exactly, and then we suspend those people immediately without telling them. It tells you on your app. You try to get someone to join, it says, sorry, you suspended. That's very embarrassing. And then you've got to find client service. You've got to prove to us that you've taken down your social media posts, because some people go crazy. They'll put like 100 posts up in a day. So don't do it to start with. Very easy. And then don't send leads or prospects to DuePoint unattended. This speaks to the way we need to treat our prospects. When you go out and you speak to people, your prospects, treat them with dignity. Be professional always, and treat them all in the same manner. We've got people that unfortunately come in to the offices. They say, I met Bob on Facebook and he said I must come to head office and Rob or Brendan will take care of me. Right? That's no way to treat your prospects. You have no idea the person you're prospecting. You could bring someone into this business that in their own stead will bring 1,000 people into the business. Treat everyone with the same dignity. Okay, a reminder, 10th of February, we've got our inaugural awards evening. So it's our first awards evening that we're doing. It is by invitation only and for rank 4s and up only. So it's a very exclusive evening. It should serve as motivation if you are close to rank 4 to make sure that you get to rank 4 so that you get your invitation and your ticket to this event. Guys, we are at the end. I remind everybody, there is a single person that can design your future, your destiny. Only one person. It's the person looking back at you in the mirror. And you have all the imagination to design whatever you want from this life. I'm hoping that you will choose DuePoint as that vehicle to get there. Right? We are here to support you. We are here to collaborate with you. If you have any questions, come speak to me. I hope you all have a fantastic year ahead. 2018, you've got 10 months to get to rank 9 and go on holiday business class with your family for the rest of your life. Guys, thank you so much. Have a good evening.